Good afternoon, everybody. It's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading on Monday, November 3rd, 2025. Late afternoon. I hope everybody's doing well. And welcome back to my channel. Thank you for subscribing. And remember to hit the notifications bell so that you're notified of the new videos and shorts that I upload. And thank you, everybody, for all of your questions and comments and stuff. So I'm going to, in this video, read some of the comments that were left on my videos. You know, some of the comments, people don't see them. Sometimes through the cascade of the emails and the videos and stuff, you get to miss them. I miss them sometimes. I found comments that I did not read or respond to from 2 months ago. So if I haven't seen them, then it's very possible that you haven't seen them either. So on my main page, there is a video, Lorraine Valente's updated testimony, a victim of human and animal rights abuses and real estate mobbing. It looks like this. That's on the main page there. And by the way, this beautiful original oil painting is by Carla, another octopus. I was looking for another octopus because that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with tentacles in every place. So Nicole Collins responds underneath my video, Lorraine, I just cannot believe how much like my story yours is. When my ex-husband, who was active duty military, and our family moved to Fort Bliss here in Texas, the same thing was done to us with our things during our move. They put our stuff into a warehouse first, which I thought was very odd at the time. And I did not know how this was usually done, especially because the warehouse was located off-post. We did not have the many different parts of the move, like in your case, or the other acts of sabotage along the way. We also were leaving a home that we owned, but the home that we left, rather than sell it, we were going to have to rent it out instead. It was a very small house that had very little value, really, and the area did not have a huge market for home buyers at the time, so we were going to be renting it out instead. But once we arrived and went to get our stuff, that is when we were told our things were at a warehouse, and we found that they had trashed our stuff. We had missing items as well, just odd things though, as if the point was just to create chaos more than anything. When we went to this warehouse, I saw that there were open boxes and things just strewn all over the ground, that as we pulled up immediately, I had this sense that this was our stuff thrown all over the ground, and much of it was right near a dumpster, which made it seem like they were actually throwing away some people's stuff, almost as if this process was something planned, as they had been told to do this. These people behave like uncivilized monsters who care nothing for other people. We had quite a few missing or broken items, with parts to things we could not find, like missing legs to our shelves, a broken desk, a damaged chair, damaged entertainment center, just as if those things had purposely been thrown on the ground carelessly to make them be lost or broken. Our things were, just like you mentioned, as if they had taken the stuff out of the boxes and put them into other boxes, as if they had been rifled through by someone. It was as if they were on a mission to damage and destroy really more than it was for stealing. We were supposed to file a complaint, because that is the procedure during these military moves, but I do not think my ex-husband ever did that. Although I was very offended at the time and felt violated in a weird way, that I would often think about and wonder what was the point of it. I did not really know I was being targeted at the time, even though this had already been going on. I had not put all the pieces together really until after my divorce, when the violence started happening, and that is when I was heavily stalked, made to have accidents, road runoffs, broken windshields, and many other things, to the point that I finally knew I was definitely being targeted. It is really crazy what is being done with this program, and it really just seems that this is being done to destroy the fabric of our country because they're targeting all the good things and trying to leave nothing behind but chaos and destruction. That seems purposeful to me, to make it so that someone powerful can come along and take everything at a low cost in any way, and I see no other point for all of this other than a well laid out plan to take everything from every one of us who might be holding up the demolition process. There is no other way to describe what this seems like. Well, thank you so much, Nicole, for validating that this happened to you during your move. And I'm so sorry to hear that it happened to you too, but it's important for people to hear because this should not be happening. I know when I paid for my moving company, I took out added insurance. And when I filed my complaint, which I did do, I was completely denied. They actually told me that I never asked for extra insurance, which I actually did. I absolutely did, and provided them the information. They completely gaslighted me. Even though I sent them dozens of photos of items that were stolen, missing, broken, they reimbursed me for zero, which was an atrocity since not only did they steal an oak cabinet, which was several £100s, I actually had to pay to have that cabinet moved, and then they stole it. They told me that they couldn't deliver it. It was in the truck. They couldn't deliver it because the pods that I had purchased, rented to store some of my items, were deliberately not stacked properly so that I had no room. There was a lot of room in back of the pods, but because the mover stacked and loaded everything in the front, you couldn't get to the back. So yes, they stole my solid oak, gorgeous, vintage provincial cabinet, a sofa, chairs, you name it. I had a brand new, what was it called? Like a kerosene heater, all completely cracked. You know, once you have a kerosene heater that's cracked, you can't use it again unless you really know what you're doing to repair it. But I'm surprised that your husband or your ex-husband didn't file a complaint. That's disappointing, unless he was told to not file a complaint. But yes, this is exactly what happens across the country, which I know that a lot of targeted people, when they do move, well, maybe they don't have as many items to move, but a lot of them will move themselves. They will rent a vehicle, get a couple of people to help them move things into, a van or whatever, and move that way. I didn't really have that option. I lived in a 5-bedroom house for a long time, 30 years. I had a daughter there, businesses, cats. I collected things. My ex-husband left things there. And you know how it is. After 30 years, you just collect a lot of stuff. And they destroyed so much. I haven't even found half of the things that allegedly were supposed to be moved here. So thank you so much for that comment. Nicole says, Connie Marshall, you may have seen her testimony, is targeted in Kentucky. That is the state I was born, and not that this really matters. I was born an Army brat, born there in Fort Knox, but Connie has a website as well, where she documents what's being done to her in her home, with her years of targeting. My testimony is not unlike hers, losing hair. It's likely a result of frequency methods draining away our nutrient stores. These people know that there is tissue displacement that is decades-old studies on non-ionizing effects. It's criminal, since Congress has been solicited to continue to support funding for the advancement of this technology. And, again, I thank you for that. And I've mentioned it before that since I moved to Kentucky, I've lost more than half of my hair. I mean, I didn't really have thick hair. It was somewhat medium hair. But now when I tie it back, my hair ties fall out of my hair because there's just not enough hair left. And hair is, when I brush my hair, comb my hair, whatever, clumps of it fall out. And it's, in addition to the stress, it's the zapping of nutrients from the technology. And I've mentioned so many times before, the way I eat. I eat very healthfully. I don't smoke, drink, or do drugs. I don't take an aspirin. I don't drink soda. To the best of my knowledge, I don't eat foods with hydrogenated vegetable oils and stuff. I should be the epitome of health here. But no, since I moved to Kentucky, they have destroyed me, destroyed my body. Well, I'm not going to say that because I'm still here, I'm breathing, and I'm doing the best that I can under some very severe circumstances. I need to get out of here. I was watching like a video, I just scroll through some of the shorts to waste time to decompress and stuff. And there was this one guy saying that you cannot heal in the same place that you were wounded. You cannot heal. You cannot heal yourself in the same place that you were wounded, that you were harmed. And that's why I believe targeted people move around so much. We instinctively, as being empathic, know that we can't heal in these places. And when you live among psychopaths and narcissists that are predators, I don't want to live around here. And even the ones that pretend to be nice, they all know what's going on. I have no interest in being here. And in addition to the fact that the local government is so corrupt, they're all in on stealing my property taxes, right? But anyway, let's get into the next the next comments. Now, this was a video that I posted in 2023, 2 years ago. There was a series of 3 videos called Gang Stalking, Targeted in America, Just the Facts, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. So this was a comment on gang stalking, targeted in America, Just the Facts, Part 1. I'll show you here. And these are great videos, by the way. So if ever you see that I'm not posting or not posting a lot, I get really busy here this time of the year. I've got leaves to rake, animals and stuff. I've got, more than about 2,500 videos. You can search for them. So now, Nicole again, I guess Nicole has discovered some of my videos, or maybe is new to the channel or whatever. She goes on to say, a very good point stated by the creator of this video content that you have shared, Lorraine, that this program, we should understand is, as you have pointed out, for a larger purpose, to force us out of land areas, and that those in power want to take, i.e. land grabs, etc. While many maybe think back on those of color have been targeted, this too, we could say, in effect, is being used to get those people out of the older homes located in city centers so that the area could be gentrified, the land taken by banks or what you have. We are seeing this happen all over the United States, and now they're coming for the middle class, the upper middle class, and this is how it's being felt by more and more people and more widespread. I believe that's what they did in North Carolina with the, the planned weather anomaly there with all the flooding. They did it in Maui. These are all land grabs. They do them in different ways, right? But the point is, well, if they want the land, buy it. You want it, buy it. If somebody's living on it, buy it. You're not going to mob me out of my house without paying for it. And also, what you're describing here about the gentrification, this was outlawed in the 1960s. Back then, it was called blockbusting. Blockbusting was outlawed under the Civil Rights Act in the 1960s. But, these criminals, these organized crimes, these little rural communities that want to steal other people's wealth because they can't work for themselves, they can't think for themselves, they can't do for themselves without stealing from somebody else. These thieves have concocted new MOs to steal land and property, not just the apartments, right? So she goes on to say the point that he makes in this program contradicts itself. It most certainly does, because those involved are criminal, and some of what they are doing using hidden technology and weapons is in violation of known laws and is a RICO crime. in the process of attacking disabled, people of color, women, children, etc., some of what they do would right away be considered hate crimes. Then we have a long list of crimes being committed while in the act of alleging that the person under attack, who often is committing no crime, many being targeted have no adult criminal records, are not violating any laws, but are being subjected to malicious acts, to criminalize, to agitate, in order to lure that person into committing a crime, at which point those involved are lying in wait to document this staged entrapment scenario. That's brilliant. Just brilliant, Nicole. The fact that there is a larger point to what is being done to create crimes, where there is none, in order to take something from those individuals, shows that this should be considered as a weaponized program, possibly having links to something much larger, maybe connected to UN agendas, to things like Henry Kissinger's NSSM 200. This is not being done for crime prevention. It is why police are basically being told to stand down when any person reports these crimes. And thank you for that. That was a very astute commentary on the underlying dynamics of this program, which is forcing people off of land areas. It's a land grab, a power grab. And it is happening all over the country, mostly here in the U.S. So another person says, thank you so much for this. This started happening to me in 2022 while living in Cheyenne. I never got proof, and I never understood why me. I didn't even know such things really happened. Anytime I was talking about it, people would act in disbelief, like I was nuts. Funny thing, just last night, I was writing about this in my journal, trying to put everything I remember. Then this video and another that you posted here pops up in my YouTube algorithm. I guess it is still going on. So I'm so glad this video was synchronous, and she posted this 2 months ago, that it was synchronous to what you were journaling to validate what was happening to you. So thank you so much for these comments. And let's see if I've got anything in my mail that is important to discuss while I'm here. Somebody sent me a video, the weapons of our warfare and witchcraft in your community. This message is going to change your life. It's a 46-minute video. I have to admit, I have not viewed it. I have not had time. It's Tyler Wood. His name is Tyler Wood. Gets it. I was shocked. He's talking about witches, warlocks, and wizards in our communities. She says, I sent him an email about gang stalking, organized stalking, also under the demonic influence. I hope you have time to listen. I haven't had time to listen yet. But it's called The Weapons of Our Warfare and Witchcraft in Your Community. This message is going to change your life. Tyler Wood, thank you so much. I will watch this at some point. I'm going to check mark it here so I can watch it. And that's going to be it for now. I hope everybody's doing well and that you enjoyed these extra comments that people post that perhaps you didn't have the opportunity to view. So this has a lot to do with real estate mobbing, property mobbing. It was formerly called blockbusting. And it is happening across the country. It's happening mostly to women, elderly people. Land grabs, sort of like, Bobby Edwards here in Jackson County, Kentucky. He works at the PVA office. He decided without notification to me to increase my property taxes from $0 to close to $1,500 when I'm a senior citizen and my property is exonerated from property taxes, but he provided no notification or a reason for the increase. He did not assign me a valuation for anything that he allegedly evaluated, and under a FOIA request, he could not even provide the letter that he alleges that he sent to me. Well, he didn't send it to me. I didn't receive it via email. The last email I had received from them was February 18, 2025, telling me specifically in writing they updated my acreage, updated the photo of my 740-foot cabin from the former owner's 1,000-foot trailer, and specifically stated I am exonerated from property taxes. So between February 18th until October, when I received an invoice from the sheriff's department, because that's how it works here, I received no notification. And because I have informed delivery from the USPS, they would notify me with a photo of the envelope. I received no such thing. And as you may remember, when I calculated the date that little Bobby Edwards allegedly sent the letter, it was June 9th, 2025, which, when you reduce all the numbers, it's 699, which, 99 reverses 66, 666, 999, 666. Bobby Edwards is likely a Freemason. But this is my opinion. I can't confirm or deny that he is, but I'm just making the assumption that it's quite a possibility that he's a Freemason and that they're all in on it together. And he has not responded to my last FOIA request. He has not been able to produce a copy of the letter that he allegedly sent. Now, when people are innocent, right? If he had the letter, he would just whip it out, send it right over, send it via email, send it in June. Could not even produce it. So anyway, I'm going to rest my case. This is Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading. Again, this is property mobbing, real estate mobbing, block busting. Most of the information has been scrubbed from the internet. A lot of it. But if you go to Grok and ChatGPT, they're very well aware of what real estate and property mobbing is about. And I'm going to sign off for now. Please leave your comments down below, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon.